What's up, residents? It's your lover, Alistair here, and we have some exciting news to get you Godzilla X Kong fans salivating, because a trailer has just dropped for the new Kong series that is set to expand the lore of Skull Island and the Monsterverse as a whole. We've been waiting a long time for this. Feels like it's been years since it was announced. Well, it has been years. They announced this thing in January 2021, and it was originally meant to have a 2022 release date. But here we are in our Lordzilla's year of 2023, and we finally have a trailer and a release date after years of radio silence. And it's coming sooner than you think. But this isn't just any breakdown. Legendary themselves reached out to us and gave us some exclusive content to reveal. So consider this a Dangerville exclusive. The show is being produced by Powerhouse Animation, who also did the Castlevania series, and not only that, they also did the opening to Dawn of the Monsters, which has incredible animation, so of course they set a high bar for what we can expect from the show. And upon first inspection, it does live up to that hype. It's definitely going for a different style to Castlevania, definitely less gory, but looks like we'll be getting some brutal kills still. We even have a new synopsis for the show. Skull Island takes viewers on a thrilling adventure as a group of kind-hearted explorers rescues Annie from the ocean, unaware that their act of heroism will lead them to the treacherous Skull Island. This enigmatic place is home to bizarre creatures and terrifying monsters, including the mighty Titan himself, Kong. So, what happens in the trailer? Well, I'll show you after a quick word from today's sponsor.
As kaiju fans, we generally love to see intense monster battles and epically dangerous adventures. And you can get just that thanks to this video's sponsor, Final Fantasy XIV. Said to be one of the greatest Final Fantasy games of all time, this online game will allow you to explore 2 of these award-winning games for free. Yep! A free trial that even gives you plenty of things to do. That's rare these days, I know. The trial comes with 14 different jobs, some of which are fan favorites from throughout the franchise, and you can play all of these with one single character. No need to go and create separate characters in order to enjoy all the game has to offer. So use our link down below to go fight monsters and evil people with big giant swords and crazy magic. You can get all the way up to level 60 with just the free trial, so hey, what's to lose? Just go click on the little link below the video, and it'll bring you up to the sign up screen for the game. From there, just go through the basic sign up process, and there you go, there's your free trial. Easy as that. Now back to the video.
Back to the trailer. It's filled to the brim with monsters. The trailer opens up with a character which I can presume is the captain opening a map whilst talking about the mysteries of Skull Island. We get some shots very reminiscent of Kong Skull Island, with the blades of the fan imitating that of a helicopter. Next up, we see a helicopter approaching Skull Island, where a group of survivors are hoping to be rescued. On their backs appear to be some scientific devices, though it's unclear what these actually are. Perhaps vessels to carry specimens back overseas for study. But out of the water comes a giant squid, potentially the same species as what we witnessed in Kong Skull Island, that reaches up and grabs the helicopter and snaps it in half, to the dismay of the survivors hoping to be rescued. Filled with dread, they now realize that they aren't going anywhere. Next up, we see a giant crab-like monster burrowing out of the sand, with horrifying sharpened mandibles that spread in an attempt to swallow its prey whole. Next up, we get probably the coolest monster in the trailer, what looks to be an insectoid humanoid cave dweller with grey skin, 4 eyes, and 4 individual mandibles. In this shot, you can definitely get the impression it's from the same team that made Castlevania. I'm guessing we'll be getting a lot of these creatures as they hunt in packs to take down their prey. Following this, we get a scene of our survivors trekking through a field of red grass with very familiar Vietnam-like mountains that we saw in the 2017 film, before a 4-legged monster sprints towards them and leaps over our leads and reveals itself to be something like a cross between a lion and a bulldog. And it's actually being ridden by someone, which means this monster will likely form a bond with one of the characters to help protect them from all sorts of giant monsters. In the next shot, we see what appears to be a two-legged crocodile attempting to consume some of our leads with its razor-sharp teeth. This one looks super cool, and it's definitely one I'd like to see in live action. In the next shot, we see some of the survivors making their way through the lush jungle when they're ambushed by someone swinging through the trees as she wraps a vine around one of the soldiers' necks to incapacitate him. Not much is known about this character, but she looks to add some fire to this ensemble. Next up, we get a look at what appears to be a giant eagle, which swoops down and picks up one of our characters, no doubt to be eaten alive. Then the title card, Skull Island, presumably lacking the Kong in the title because the show will focus more on the island, its history, and the many monsters. But before the trailer ends, we get a look at the mighty Kong as he growls and roars at one of our leads, and he looks great. Look at his scruffy animated beard. He looks a little more grown than he did in 1973, which is helping bridge the gap between Skull Island and Godzilla vs. Kong's design. Then we get the release date. It will be releasing on Netflix worldwide on June 22nd. That's right around the corner. The show is being written and produced by Brian Duffield, who also made Love and Monsters, which is a really charming monster movie that's super underrated. So if you're wanting something that might have a similar vibe to the Skull Island anime, check that out. Along with this trailer, we have a brand new poster, which just looks great. We get a better look at some of the monsters, including the dog lion thing, this chameleon-looking sea monster, as well as the skull crawler, which just looks great here. And whilst Kong looked to be more grey in the trailer, in the poster he looks to be more like his live-action counterpart, appearing a dark brown. So not sure what's going on there seems to be a bit of a divide. Front and center we see our lead, Charlie, voiced by Nicholas Cantu, who you might recognize from The Fabelmans, if any of you watch that. Some of the other cast members include Mae Whitman as Annie, Darren Barnett as Mike, Benjamin Bratt as Cap, and Betty Gilpin as Irene. Legendary has provided us with a better look at some of the characters we'll get to see in the show, and the art style is absolutely amazing. It really gives me early 2000s cartoon vibes, kind of like the Godzilla series, which I'm sure others have picked up on as well. We previously assumed it was set in the 40s, as the synopsis gave the impression it was about the first people to discover Skull Island, but now, based on what we can see, it looks to be set after the events of the 2017 film, which takes place in 1973. So it looks to be set somewhere in the mid-90s. But we'll reach out to Legendary for confirmation on that. It looks like it's going to be more of a family-orientated show than some of the other MonsterVerse projects, but that's alright. They're solidifying the future of the MonsterVerse by getting more young people hyped for the upcoming films. The only criticism I have is that some shots look really undercooked, especially this shot of the tentacles that looks really out of place compared to some of the really nicely animated segments later on in the trailer. But that's just a small nitpick for what we can expect to be a super fun show, and there will no doubt be details hinting towards what we can expect to see from Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire and the Monarch TV show. So get hyped for that. What was your favorite part of the trailer? Let us know in the comment section down below. June 22nd can't come soon enough, so be sure to subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. And be sure to give this video a Kong-sized thumbs up if you want more Skull Island content. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.